So how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to round 2 of the V-Wing testing debacle. This time facing off against an Empire list featuring 3 of the dreaded Empire aces, probably. Once again, I'm joined by Richard. Hello, Richard. How are you?
Hello, I'm fine, thanks. How are you?
I'm all right. How was Christmas?
It was, good, thank you. Relaxing. Partly because we couldn't go out so much.
Well, yeah.
But, how was yours?
It was pretty good. I don't think we did much that we couldn't do anyway.
Mm-hmm.
It was a bit cold because apparently you have to keep windows open. But anyway, it was great. We had a great time. And I hope everybody watching and listening had a great Christmas too, to the best of your ability. But yeah, anyway, back to the game. The list today is very similar to, well, it's exactly the same, in fact. It's the same list from last week, the 3 V-Wing with Shark T list with Tarkin there to keep them company. And on Ed's team, we have a striker, an interceptor, and a defender, piloted by Vagabond, Turfanier, and Rex Labrath, respectively.
Yeah, I'm liking the look of the Empire list. I've never seen any of these pilots used, and we're just saying I've never seen any of these paint jobs either.
Ed does amazing paint jobs. I'm wondering if we should do a little video, if Ed would like, where we show off all his lovely paint jobs. I mean, he's got this lovely matching sort of red and black scheme for his Empire, but his scum and villainy ships are all Marvel paint jobs. I mean, he's even got a Spider-Man Noir TIE fighter with a little hat.
Yeah, I really want to see this little hat.
It's great. It's honestly great. Yeah.
What's his arrangement of them at the moment? Like, I can't quite work out which TIE fighter is doing what at the moment. Is that the striker?
So you got the striker is up the top, and then you have Interceptor and the defender still yet to move.
Mm-hmm.
I can see what you're saying though. The striker it's actually the striker and the Reaper I find very interesting because of adaptive ailerons ability.
Mm. The Reaper's the bigger one, right?
The Reaper's the bigger one, the medium one, yeah.
Mm.
But they both are able to have this speed 1 reposition.
And so it's a speed 1 reposition before they do their normal activate, provided they're not stressed.
Yeah, you can only do it if you're not stressed, but you have to do it. So it's a must ability, with the exception of I think it's Duchess, who can do it if she wants to and if she doesn't, which is very powerful.
And the pilot Vagabond is the one who can do that, then drop a bomb, then carry on. Yeah. So
he, in theory, if you wanted to, you could drop 1 bomb in the systems phase. Then before you activate, you could do your adaptive ailerons, and then drop a second one, which could be really powerful. Mm-hmm. But also,
definitely,
if you don't want to do that and just want to do a bomb, it gives you more options of where your bomb might go. So that's pretty good as well.
And the bombs are seismic charges.
On Vagabond, we've got seismic charges, and on the V-Wings, we've got thermal detonators. So we've got 2 lots of bomb drops today.
Could be a lot going on.
That would be great in a weird way. It would be a massive faff, but just a big pile-up of bombs would be great.
Yeah.
I have noted that the thermal detonator is slightly tricky to put out, so I'm trying to work out how to speed that up in the gameplay, because that can be a bit annoying.
Oh, you mean the process of putting it down is quite tricky?
Yeah, the process of putting it down, because you're usually dropping 2. I don't see a reason why you just drop 1 thermal detonator particularly. I'm hoping we're going to have some awesome bomb drops today. Well, in fact, I can promise we'll have some good bomb drops today. That's going to be great. From both teams, in fact.
The other interesting thing is we noticed Ed has fully upgraded his list. There's literally no more upgrades he could put on those ships.
Yeah, exactly. I
love this stealth device and elusive on Vagabond. Like, Vagabond is really souped up to not get shot.
Yeah, hopefully he's going to be dodging absolutely everything. So you are correct.
Now, it's interesting what he's doing. He's putting Vagabond in the middle, right in front of Turfanier. Now, Termite might be a bump. Can Turfanier do a 1 forward in that? Let's have a look at the dial.
That is a good question. I do not know if he can do that.
No, Turfanier can't do 1 forward.
So it's a 2 minimum. Okay.
Yeah.
So either then he doesn't want to go straight. I would guess. I think Turfanier wants to turn anyway. I don't think ploughing everything in that little gas cloud corridor is a particularly smart idea.
No, Turfanier doesn't want to be immediately behind the bombs as well.
No, exactly. So if he did drop a bomb, not that would be a good idea at this point, then he would obviously struggle a little bit. I mean, personally, I would take the Interceptor towards Rexler, actually. I think that would... If it was me, if I was Ed, I'd take it left and try and bring all 3 of them left. So that would draw the V-Wings and the Jedi this way. We shall see.
It's good for me to watch because I still haven't tried making an aces list of my own. I've always instinctively want either a swarm or a mini swarm somewhere. So having just 3 pilots, all of whom are very good and very evasive. Obviously, it's a very different method of flying, isn't it?
Yes.
Because if it were me right now with a little swarm, I'd want my ships staying close together.
So you'd want to do more of what I'm doing here, basically.
Yeah. Yeah, we're seeing it. Oh yeah, you called it. That Ed's thinking the same there.
Yeah.
Take those 2 down to the bottom of the screen.
Everyone could say that, oh, you played the game, you know what happens. But I do try and look at this with fresh eyes when I'm watching as opposed to a player. So don't panic, everybody. So yeah, you're saying you'd go for a mini swarm or more of a swarm list. What would you normally go for?
At the moment, I'm finding fun ways to stick first order TIE fighters with first order shuttles.
Zyklon. Okay, that's pretty good. That sounds.
Yeah.
But
I've realised all of my lists are that right now. So.
Well, you go through phases. I think you want to try and find the best version of that list. And then you could take that list to a competitive thing.
Yeah, it is nice to really learn how to use a specific list.
Yes,
but there's so many like good pilots in the first order. Well, obviously in any, but it is time I tried putting a few of the aces in there and seeing what they can do without a mini swarm doing most of the work. Because if a game goes really well, if your swarm rolls really well, you get to the end of the game and realise you might have put an ace in there and they haven't done anything because they were too busy flanking and staying out of the way.
Potentially, but that's not necessarily always a bad thing.
No, true.
If your big point, your ace in a swarm list is going to be your massive points.
Mhm.
So keeping them out of the way is never. I don't think that's wrong. I don't think that's wrong at all. Because
No, not at all. But sometimes it's fun to see the ace doing their cool stuff.
yeah, you'd like to actually use those points. Otherwise, it is a bit pointless. But also, you do want to keep your 8 out of harm's way, because if it goes and, like Shark Teeth, for example, 3-hole, unlucky dice could wipe her out in one hit. That's not unreasonable. It could happen. Same with the TIE Interceptor. I know that Ed's put a shield upgrade on it, so it's got an extra hit point on there.
I think that's a good move.
It's not a bad move, yeah.
I mean, it's like 8 points, but it's worthwhile.
It's worthwhile, but also it's not necessary. You can do all right without it.
Yeah.
If you try and not have it, you will possibly work out how to use an Interceptor better.
Yeah,
But
because
that's a big maybe. I'm not.
The objective is to keep it, to just not get shot, right?
Yeah, that's it. If you've got a ship that's 3-hull, 3 evade, try and not get hit. That's the best you can do. I think the only exception to that is the TIE Defender, which is just...
The Defender is insane. Everything about the TIE Defender is insane.
It's mad. What was it? It's 3-hull, 3 attack, 3-hull, 3 shield, and it has got 3 evade dice, hasn't it?
Yeah.
I think that's it's 3-3. It's 3-3, 3-4 maybe, which is, for a small ship, madness. Absolute madness. But also worth
just the 7 hit points. On top of everything else, the 7 hit points is a big deal. Now, do you think Ed is hoping to lure you into the obstacles?
100%.
Because it does look like all of the Empire ships are about to be coming down that narrow channel we can see.
It does look like that, and I would try and steer away from that, because I think.
Yeah, I mean, have you got the option of doing a fast straight maneuver, just denying him that?
All the ships can do a 5 straight. All of them can do 2 hard and 3 hard turns, and they can do 2 and 3 banks as well. So they are capable of going fast, and again, I think that is the correct decision. Definitely don't want to go into the rocks and the asteroids. See, I think what Ed should do here, Vagabond's doing the right thing, going in and planting a bomb somewhere in here, because it's a seismic charge that blows up a obstacle. Much better, much more chance of getting something than some of the other bombs, for example.
It gives you a sort of long range explosion, doesn't it? You can hit something that's like at range 2 of you.
It increases your chances of hitting something, is how I would describe it best.
So he's gone for a barrel roll, so looks like he's expecting to come right round and sort of follow.
Ooh, possible flanking maneuver. Come all the way round and then behind. That'll be really good. That'll be fabulous. We see that.
Yeah, but it's not really what Turfin is best suited to. Maybe not with these upgrades. These upgrades are clearly for dropping things. So that one's.
Do you mean Vagabond?
Sorry, that's what I mean. I mean Vagabond.
Yeah, the TIE Striker. Yes, I would think Turfin could do that. I think if he's fast enough. As long as he's doing maybe 3 turns and 4 or 5 straights, he might do okay with that strategy.
I think you're both being a bit kind of cagey here, aren't you? Neither of you really wants to commit to.
Oh yeah,
to choosing where the fight's going to be right now.
Definitely. And I think that's the right thing to do. Although it's possibly slightly boring for the viewers. Sorry.
I find it interesting trying to work out who each of you trying to maneuver for an advantage before the big bit of shooting starts.
I think the first...
There's a target lock.
Yes.
Who's just... Was that you putting a target lock on Vagabond?
Yeah, from Tarkin.
A Tarkin target lock, nice. And then remind us of Tarkin's ability?
The reason you want to do Tarkin first is because if he's target locked somebody, the next systems phase he can say, right, friendly ship in range, you target lock the same ship that I've locked as long as you're also in range.
Nice.
So if you get him target locked onto something first, you could spend that turn with the other ships getting other tokens, and then at the beginning of the next phase, they grab the target lock, they're ready to go. Bye Vagabond.
Nice. And
also with Shark T, potentially keeping some green tokens. Well, it's focus or evades with Shark T, which is all we need here. So even more things hanging about, which is fantastic.
So remind us, what does Shark T's ability actually say? How does it work?
So at the start of the end phase, she can spend as much force as she is able, and then pick that many friendly ships at range 0 to 2, so including herself. They do not remove one focus or evade token.
Yeah, it's good.
Which now the V-Wings can't take evade tokens. They don't have the evade action, and they don't have the debris gambit that would give them that. So they'll be keeping their focus tokens, and Shark T will potentially also be keeping evades and focuses as well. So that's pretty good.
It is good.
But lots of things hanging around longer than they should do.
Yeah.
Everything is all turning in, just going around the edge of the board. I'd like to know where the Interceptor is going to go.
Yeah, I mean, if it just went straight, I think it could take itself too far away. So it's either going to come up the board as we look at it, or maybe try and weave to the left between that gas cloud and that asteroid.
Yeah,
I expect. I mean, it's an interceptor, so it can kind of go wherever it wants, can't it?
Exactly, right or left. And it's going to go to the right.
That's slow.
That is slow, but not necessarily wrong either. I mean, we were saying you want to be quite fast with the Interceptor, but at this point, stick close to the gas cloud means he can turn around faster.
Yeah.
So
now, is that a boost action? Is that a normal boost?
That would be the normal boost action. If Ed wants to, you can use the auto thruster ability and do a red barrel roll because he's boosted already.
Yeah.
Or he could wait till he attacks and then do it. The difference being ship ability cannot be stressed. Ter's ability can do it while stressed.
That's true. Yeah, so Ter's ability, after you perform an attack, you may perform a barrel roll or a boost action, even if you are stressed.
Yes.
That's really, really, really powerful. I've not seen that before.
Any while stressed ability is very powerful, in my opinion.
Yeah.
However, I don't think it's necessary here. I don't think you want to stress yourself out quite yet.
No.
I don't see how any reposition is going to particularly help you.
No, any reposition from there is going to involve crashing into obstacles later, possibly. Going to reduce your options, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, the only thing you can really do safely would go to the right, behind that gas cloud. I think he'd fit. And then he might have an easier turn to face on the squad incoming.
I think the dilemma for Ed here is, does he expect the swarm to do a very hard turn to the right and come in between the top two obstacles, or is your next move going to be to keep this sort of direction going? Now that position of the defender, that suggests he might be expecting you to come all the way around rather than take a hard turn now. What are those?
I like this.
Like? Oh, this suits you think?
Well, I like this. No, I think this is bad for me, but I like this because you've now got two ships that one has got each little side of that corridor, basically. So you've got the two gas crates in these two corridors. And you've got one that's going to come that way, and you've got one that's going to come the other way. Now, I don't know if there's a way that my team can avoid getting shot by both of them.
Unless they can turn in and get between, put the gas cloud between them and the defender next turn, maybe.
So we have the first shot, which is... So the Interceptor's got range on the nearest V-wing. Range 3, obviously, so... I'm gonna guess not particularly massive things going at the moment. Yeah, so just the one.
Have a token.
Well, just one. That's a little bit close, but we're okay. Yeah, I was saying the V-wings can turn in fairly easily. I think they could do a hard 2 if they needed to, which could work out really well.
Now, if you do that, you're going to get hit by a seismic charge. I've just thought. That's what Ed set up. Ed set this up to make that. Yeah, this is nice actually. He set it up to make that turn really unappealing for you, which is so your alternative is to be trapped between those two TIE fighters. So if you were to do that hard turn with your V-wings on the next activation, Ed's lined himself up nicely to hit all your ships with a seismic charge. So I think he's hoping to make you reluctant to do that turn, which will leave you sandwiched between the two TIE fighters.
Yeah, that's really good. And not only that, if I don't do that, which I think is reasonable, I think I am quite clued on to think, don't fall for the trap, Admiral Akbar. The defender is the strongest ship in Ed's team. And if I'm going up against that, his chances are good. So really well done.
Yeah, it's such a good ship.
Shadow Squadron 2 is keeping his focus, thanks to Shark Team, and then of course regain a force at the end phase. So we're still on 2. So just building up the tokens and stuff. He was the only one who focused because we've got 2 target locks on Vagabond.
Yeah.
Although, I imagine we're going to be moving that now. Because if Vagabond's going to fly off there, we're going to want to take on one of these 2 beasts down here, I think.
Yeah, Vagabond's not very good for getting right back in the fight in this sort of situation. Just think it's at the dial.
What can the striker do?
So it's all made more complicated by the ailerons, isn't it?
Yes.
So he's got to go straight 1 or bank 1. He won't be banking left because
definitely
of
not
that obstacle. So he's then got everything at 1. So 1 hards, 1 bank, 1 straight. Yeah. Everything at 2.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing is missing from 3 is the hard, so it can't do hard 3.
Okay.
And top speed is 3, hasn't got 4 straight or 5 straight. Oh,
Okay.
and using that skilled bombardier to drop a bomb. Is that the skilled bombardier? Allowing
so
that
the
extra
skilled
range?
bombardier is making that 2, which is really nice.
Yeah. Now, is that in range of that gas cloud?
If it is, that's amazing, but
That would be
possibly
amazing.
not. Just looking at it, my guess is it's just out.
It looks a bit too far to me.
I actually think it's close to that other asteroid that's next to Turfanier. Well, we're taking the extra target lock from Tarkin's ability.
Nice.
I suppose no reason not to. I mean, it's free. It's not an action, so we need to reacquire. If we need to lock someone else in the action phase, nothing against that.
Yeah, you're not really missing out.
So aileroning to the right. So hard turn, I'm guessing. I'm gonna guess hard turn.
Probably a hard turn, isn't it? What's that? Is that the... Oh no, it's the K turn. Interesting.
Okay.
Which is going to stress it out, which means it won't be using the ailerons next round, which is really interesting.
true.
It means that the ship gets, as soon as the ship gets stressed, it gets much slower.
Yes. What other advanced maneuvers can it do? What other reds has it got?
I think it's got. Hang on, got a feeling it's got a S loop.
They're good.
Let's have a look. Yeah.
2 S
So
or 3?
on the 2.
Yeah.
So this dial would make no sense if it weren't for the ailerons, because it's got K turn on 1, S loop on 2. Like, very few things have a K turn on 1, but of course if you're doing the K turn, you would already have moved 1 with the adaptive ailerons.
So maybe it's like that balances it out, I suppose. Yeah, that makes
Yeah.
sense. I've not used them very much. I'm afraid I only own 1 striker.
They're really interesting.
Perhaps I should get my hands on 1 more model so I could do a Reaper and 2 strikers. That could be
That'd be fun. Yeah.
be a good list model. It's been done, but I've never done it myself.
Now you've gone for the fastest thing you can.
We're going aggressive, it seems. So what we've done a 5 straight, and then we've boosted in and taken the red target lock.
Because it's a linked action.
Yes. So normal
Boost
target
attack.
lock is fine. Nothing, no difference. The link focus, there's no link focus. There is a boost into a red target lock. And most of the abilities for the V-Wing pilots rely on there being target lock. So
Yeah, it's a good ship.
you can click, you need to be target locked. Tarkin depends on target locks. Contrail doesn't. And neither. Oddball also revolves around target locks, I suppose.
So you've done a lot with Tarkin. Which other named pilot are you keen to try?
All of them, really. I mean, Oddball lesser because I've used him lots before. We all know what he does.
He's in like every ship.
Oh yeah, he is in everything. But then he is a pilot. That's what he did. In the story, he is part of the open fleet. So he's permanently a pilot. He's not attached to any of the battalions. He's not attached to the 501st or anything. So he just goes around as a pilot. So he's flown absolutely everything.
So he's not a clone.
No, he's a clone. He's a clone pilot.
I'm glad that Interceptor did that boost, because I was looking at that.
Yeah, he would have been struggling there.
So that's the stressful linked action, that double reposition.
Yes.
Hoping to get around the back of your swarm.
Yeah. Slightly misfortunate, because I think he was hoping if I turned in. Also, I think he was planning for both, and if one didn't happen, I think Ed was fine with that. So swings and roundabouts, but
yeah,
doesn't seem like Tur's going to get any damage, which is all right.
Yeah, it's a relief for your ships.
Now he's probably got Shark Tea at the moment, so I assume she's going to reposition as well. Probably join the others as well, I'm going to guess. Although, maybe could have barrel. Yeah, probably going to join the others and boost right, but could barrel roll, I suppose.
Could barrel roll. That defender is not looking very happy with this. What you don't want with a defender, you don't want to bump, do you?
Not particularly. If
you
want to be doing 3+ maneuvers.
Yeah.
Get your bonus evade action.
Yeah, that bonus evade action is really good. So it doesn't have one straight, which is looking at it is what you'd want right now. It has got banked ones. Oh, did Shark Tea fit there? Yes, she did.
Let's see.
Nice.
I don't think she did.
So,
not doing
what's
any
this
action,
defender
so I
up to?
don't think we did. It might have been quite a close one, that. So if we might.
Is that a 2 straight or 3 straight?
Looks like a 3 to me.
Ooh, ouch.
Because it's got Ed's lovely templates have got little lines on them, so that's a 3 straight. Which means he was obviously thinking what we were thinking, which is we want the evade action.
Ouch.
Instead, we are colliding with Tarkin there.
I bet you're happy with that bump. That is the worst possible position for the defender to be. Because it looks from here, it looks like you might even be in the bullseye of Shark Tea. The defender. Mm-hmm.
He's bumped into the second Shadow Squadron. It means he doesn't get an action. But what I'm not liking is that leaves Tarkin to get a lovely bullseye shot.
Yeah, so what damage can you do with the bullseye?
Well, it's going to be 4 at the front. Heavy laser cannon's only 2 to 3, but...
Okay, so 2 close for the heavy laser cannon.
Yeah.
2 close for the ion missiles, I assume?
Yes.
Yeah. So 2 close for either of those.
Looks like the TIE Defender is just going to shoot his primary guns into Tarkin after all.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Ouch.
So with no mods, somehow we've got all the hits.
And Tarkin is not liking that.
That's 1 evade. He's not dead, but he's hurting.
That was with an elusive reroll, wasn't it?
Yeah, so even the elusive didn't work. That is unfortunate. And he is our most valued V-Wing pilot as well.
Yeah. Problem with the V-Wings, if they love taking target locks, it means you're going to do maybe less focusing.
Yes. This was my lesson from these 2 games was because of the target lock link, it means you're not going to be taking as much things that will help you dodge. So I went away and thought, what could I change to maybe improve that? I mean, the elusive was one thing, but it's very chance heavy. So potentially, is there a better way of doing it? So we're moving on now to Shark T. Now, what we're trying to work out is, do we have a range 1 or a range 2? Because that will determine whether we are firing primary bullseye or heavy laser bullseye. That shan't affect the dice at all.
So we're definitely bullseye.
Yes, we're definitely bullseye. Definitely 4 dice. The question is, are we turning hits to crits? I don't think we are.
So that's a bullseye. That's
So
four.
force for
3
3.
hits with the help of a force. Was that a force?
Yes, it was.
Very nice.
Oh,
Oh,
that's gonna hurt.
ouch.
Although it kind of
That's
levels.
not what you want your defenders doing.
No. Well, that kind of levels it out, I suppose. We both had a decent hit.
Ouch.
Yeah. So that's taken Rexler down to 1 shield. And he's got more coming. But Tarkin's at range 1, and so is that Shadow Squadron next to him. Unfortunately, the one with the focus.
And that's a lot of target locks.
Yeah, they've all got target locks. So here comes Tarkin.
Tarkin.
Not what we want.
Oh, that's going to be some re-rolling then.
Yeah, definitely want to spend that target lock. I mean, in some cases, you might want to keep it because then more ships can target lock next turn. You can have a more brutal turn.
That might be what you're thinking about.
Well, they've got enough target lock, so I think that was fine. What I was thinking was, do I use a normal reroll, which, as you see, completely failed, or do I use the Besh and just guarantee a hit? In that case,
what does Besh say again?
So you can spend your lock to turn 1 dice to a hit, basically. Blank or an eye.
So settle on 1.
So currently 1. Also got a target
This
lock.
is good.
Now again, we could use the Besh config, or do we re-roll both of them? One guarantees us a hit, and the other one possibly 2, but still a lot of luck involved there. We are going for a normal re-roll. And it paid off.
Nice. Ouch, yeah, getting a crit in.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Ooh.
A really good roll, but for both.
That's more like it. Yeah, that's more what Ed wanted that defender to be doing.
Very leveled out though. Really leveled out the whole round. That is the end, however, because the final V-wing has bumped, of course.
Yeah, when that happens to me, I like to think of it as that's what maybe I expected from 2 sets of average dice rolling. What he just had was that the defender just suffered loads of damage followed by no damage. That's a bit like suffering a little bit of damage from both shots.
Yeah, it seems really level in average, doesn't it? Yeah, so the V-wing's keeping the focus, and then Shark T regains a force back to 1.
So this is going to be interesting. This next round, the defender's moving last, isn't it?
Yes. The defender is 5. Tur and Shark T are 4. The V-wings are 3, and Vagabond is 2.
Who's moving first out of Tur and Shark T? Is it Tur?
Tur will go first.
I think it was. Yeah, that could be. That's not going to make a huge amount of difference.
Don't think so. Although I do think going second was the right choice for me. If Ed could have gotten it, I think it would have been better. Unfortunately, Ed doesn't have any bid with this list. He's got 200 points. whereas I have 11-point bid.
Hmm.
And again, that was at a push because I didn't want to put anything else on these ships because they don't need it, but they are so cheap.
I was going to say your squads, you're going to be K-turning with the swarm, but of course you've got a lot of stress on your V-wings now.
Yeah, I had exactly the same thought.
It's a dilemma, isn't it? Do you keep them all doing the same thing, in which case you're not going to be doing much shooting, or split up the swarm and K-turn with some and not with others?
Yeah, well, were I not stressed, I think I would use the precision ions and fan out and face the defender back. That would be an awesome move.
So that's the precision ion engines. Precision ion engines on the V-wing.
Turning those 2Ks into 2 sloops.
I think it's great.
It is great.
Useful.
Again, I want to see it on Empire ties as well.
Yeah.
But instead, I think we're gonna have to do a few other tricks, and we're dropping the thermals.
Oh yes, yeah, forgot about those.
No.
So I forgot about those. Let's see if I'd remembered them. Because that is going to be right where the defender wants to do its famous 4K.
Yeah.
It's white 4K.
I don't think there's any other ship that has a white K-turn, does it?
I mean, your E2 Actis is the closest thing, I think, with the purple.
The purple Talon,
Talon
is the only other advanced maneuver I can think of that's not red. Which is absolutely insane, and I love it. Now, unfortunately, Sharky's in the way, so we're going to have to move her out a little bit. Now, technically, because of rules, you should do your systems phase in order as you do everything else. But I think in this case, it would be deemed acceptable to maybe do your intuitive controls before you drop a load of bombs like this.
Yeah, I mean,
get her out of the way. I think that's probably quite reasonable.
Because the bombs make no difference, do they?
Not at the moment, no. Bombs do not explode until the end of the activation phase.
The interesting thing would be if you had, like we were talking about last week, if your squad was all E-2s, then you would have to do your systems phase maneuver, so barrel roll or boost in order, wouldn't you?
Yes, definitely.
And that would be important. But this is a lot of thermal detonators.
Yeah. I also think with thermal detonators you have to go for quantity over quality.
Yeah.
Because they're only one dice, if you if you're close enough when they explode, you have to roll one dice, as opposed to a prox mine, for example, that is 2 dice plus a damage, or anything else. I can't think of anything else where you roll.
There's the one. Is it bomblets where you roll 2 dice?
That's it, bomblets. Yeah.
So again, you're really pushing the luck with something like bomblets, because you've got something at one end, you've got 2 blank results or 2 crit results.
Yes.
So,
that's the other thing you have to consider, because some bombs, again, because you're rolling, there's a luck element.
Yeah.
Whereas if you take a seismic, like Vagabond, unfortunately his bomb drop didn't do anything. But if you take a seismic charge or a proton bomb, that guarantees you something.
Yeah.
So you don't really have to worry about it, as long as they suffer hit or a crit, depending on the bomb. So that's really good. But whereas if you've got if your bomb involves you rolling dice, I would argue that you need to, certainly in this case, you need more because
Yeah.
then you're going to increase your chances, basically.
In fairness to Vagabond, he has made it easier to rejoin the fight by blowing up that obstacle.
Oh yeah, definitely. But you did say he can only do a 3 straight.
Yeah, that's top speed. Now, is the 3 straight blue? That's the next question.
I imagine it's going to be white.
It looks like he's removed the stress.
He has, yes.
Yeah, the 3 straight is blue.
Yeah, okay. That makes sense, yeah, actually. But yeah, hopefully, all 3 of them have dropped bombs. So that's 6. So
That's a lot of bombs.
It is a lot of bombs. And hopefully, going to do something. But you can see how much of a faff that was. We've got to even...
Yeah, it's going to take ages.
We've got to get one of those V-Wings out of the way just to put the last one down.
It's going to take ages to resolve them all.
Yeah.
I mean, could you do it? Could you just roll lots of dice for all the ones the ship's getting hit by? You wouldn't have to do them one by one, would you?
No, this is the one. I think personally I need to work on how more efficiently I can drop the bombs. But if once you roll the bot for the bombs, you can do them all in one go, which is makes it a bit easier.
And they cause crits.
They do cause crits. So
yeah, so I was just wondering if maybe the order of crits might matter, but you could still just roll all the dice and then say that's the crit I got first, that's the crit I got second.
Yeah, I don't see how it matters because
no, I think technically it might, because okay, this is a really edge case scenario, but what if the first bomb gave you that crit which makes any subsequent damage a crit? Because if that was the first thing that happened, that's very different to if it was the last thing that happened.
I don't see how it would be different to a normal attack. Because
but with normal attacks you take the crit damage first, but technically you don't. This isn't meant to be. It's surely meant to be each bomb separately. Maybe I'm overthinking it, and it's a casual game anyway. In a casual game, you definitely just roll. I don't
think that would matter, because the thermal detonator will give you whatever you roll. So if you roll an R, you get strain. If you roll a hit, you take a hit damage. If you roll a crit, you get crit damage. So personally, I don't see how it would differ to a normal attack. Good point, though.
It's a sort of new style of bombing, isn't it? Let's drop loads of tiny bombs, spread them out. Yeah, I like it.
I don't think you'd need to roll those separately. If someone thinks differently, then leave a comment, let me know. Always keen to have the rules correct.
I think Tur wanted to be following that maneuver up with getting towards your ships, but with that many bombs. With that many bombs, it wouldn't be the thing to do.
Yeah. Definitely create a little problem. Looks like a Y. Just accidentally looks like a Y, yeah.
That can be the other achievement. Last time we were talking about trying to get them all in one spot.
Yeah.
Try and write your own name.
Write your name in bombs. How would you do that?
If you can make a capital F on this channel.
But would that stand for Fraz, or would that stand for something else?
Follow up with a U.
Yeah, FU. That would be very amusing. So next should be Shark T, I believe. Oh, we're missing. So all of them. So all 3 viewings are now focused.
Mhm.
So going defensive, I think. You've only got 1 target lot left, and I'm guessing that will be from the bumped one, won't it?
Probably, yeah. Is that Tarkin just taking a second token there?
No, that's the Shadow Squadron, because he had it from last turn, and because he was
That from last
he didn't
turn.
spend it, so
Yeah,
he
nice.
hasn't done a focus action, meaning he can double focus.
I would have been tempted to target lock as well. But is this the? Oh no, it's the 4K.
There we
Ouch.
go. Sharky should have gone
But it's
first.
white.
That was a minor thing that Ed got slightly carried away with. He thought she was 5 for a minute, not 4.
It
does feel like a 5, actually. So I'm not going to hold it against anyone who accidentally thinks she's 5 for 5 seconds.
It won't make a big difference in this occasion. I think he's got to go for the barrel roll, hasn't he?
Yeah. It definitely didn't really affect anything. There is only a few rare occasions where if you do get your order slightly wrong, you don't need to go back and fix it. Very rare, I think. Unless you completely get it all wrong, then maybe.
Yeah, if you got it very wrong, then that'd be the difference in 4 and 5.
Yes. So she's
She's
flinging it
following
up
rest.
and joining the team, which is good because I definitely didn't leave her to suffer all that bomb damage.
Mm-hmm.
That would go very badly. But it looks like we've got a lot of bombs going into these ties, which means this is probably the best bomb drop I have ever done.
Yeah, if you're counting bomb drops as how many hits in one round, this is looking pretty good. Question is, how many of those tiny bombs are within range 1?
Looking at it, we'd need to measure it, but I'm looking at it with the naked eye. I'd say Ter's got at least 1, and Rexler's got at least 2. But it's possibly more.
Yeah, I think both of those top ones at the top of the Y, I think will hit Ter. That's the first one you're checking.
Oh, yes, it will. You are correct, Richard, my friend.
Managed to compensate for the angle because if the camera was at the other end of the playfield, we'd have quite a different view, wouldn't we?
I would like to eventually work up to a 2-camera setup. That would be great. And then maybe a bird's eye camera. So I'll tell you, because poor Ed's hand was in the way, that Turfanier takes 2 thermal detonators and Rexler is going to take 3. So that middle one is just in.
That was a really good bomb drop. That's exactly
bomb
what
drop I've ever done. Go me.
Ow!
Oh no! Oh, that's 2 crits.
That's terrible.
That's shield down and a hole, and it's a crit hole as well.
He's put a face down card.
I'm about to reveal that poor information to Ed, and he was very sad. but normally it is just a face down damage regardless, but in this case, it's what you roll is what you get.
Mm-hmm.
Thankfully, I've had a few copies of that little leaflet to confirm that. There we are.
I can't see that from here.
Stunned pilot.
Oh, something about going over obstacles.
Yeah, it doesn't want to go over obstacles. And that's also not good.
Defense also taking horrible
hit crit as well.
So that's face up.
Direct hit. Even worse.
Direct hit. No.
Oh dear.
Oh, that is definitely. I'm not surprised you're describing this as your best bomb drop
I've ever done. There you go.
You've definitely been looking forward to that happening on this video, because that's the sort of thing you'd remember.
Might have done.
But again.
Might have done.
Yeah, that was brilliant.
I couldn't possibly comment,
Ouch.
but I've got a defender down to 1 hole.
I mean, it could have been something like what's the alternative? It could have been like 2 strain tokens on both of them, couldn't it? Which
would have been
if
all
you've
right,
got 2
really.
strain tokens, if you get 2 strain tokens, does it take 2 blue maneuvers to get rid of them?
2 blue maneuvers or be attacked.
Mm.
So that leaves this is Rexler's shot now. He's in fact the only one who can shoot, and we are okay. 1 crit, 1 evade. Tarkin's still alive though. Didn't realise
that round was definitely.
but
That round was definitely about the bombs rather than about the shooting.
it was.
Yeah.
I mean, if Tarkin did have died, that would have sucked a little bit, but it would have kind of been fair, I suppose. Instead, Rexler's on 1 health. Tur is halved.
Actually, Rexler had Duke, right, from that situation?
Yes, he did, and the
That's
reason
something
he didn't do it was because the way Duke works is when you have abilities that affect your opponent's dice. According to the rules, you modify their dice first before they modify their dice. So say you weaken their dice, they then have the chance to put it back up to something good.
Okay.
So in that case was Tarkin had a focus token. He would have duked the eye down to he would have duked the evade down to an eye, and then of course
focus
sent the focus token back. So it wasn't really going to do anything. So that's why Ed decided not to bother in that case. But a weird one, because I'm not sure I've often gone for a massive bomb drop over shooting.
Yeah, well, it suits the thermal detonators, right? If you were using a different device, you wouldn't have kitted out all your ships with it, maybe.
No. I will be intrigued to try thermal detonators on other ships. I wonder how it would work on a Y-wing.
I had somebody drop one out of a what's it called, HMP gunship the other day.
That sounds good.
I think
because they've got white recharge, haven't they?
You can stick all sorts of accessories on a gunship.
I know.
Sort of
absolutely.
deck them out however you want.
I think they're scary. I generally don't like going up against them because they're nasty bits of kit.
Yeah, I'm very interested in them. They're one of the things that's making me think I should go separatist.
Oh, please do. They're fantastic. I won't be going separatist, but I do thoroughly enjoy playing. I think I enjoy playing against them more because they're just so different.
Yeah, everything about the way those droids fly is different, isn't it?
They've got a very clear sort of, the faction identity that FFG and Asmodee were going on about. They've got a very clear one, which I like.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can see it. Whereas I'm not sure about the Republics. I'd like to know what their theme is.
I think it's these nifty ships. For me, the sort of archetypal Republic one is the what's it called? The Delta 7, the Ether Sprite.
Yes.
I think they're the only faction with non-limited force wielding pilots. I think I'm right in saying that. They've got more force than anybody else. So I'm a first order player. I'm a first order. I've got 1 force user.
Oh yeah, true. I know the Inquisitor's tie as a generic Inquisitor.
Oh okay. Yeah, generic Inquisitor.
One,
second one.
Republic have got 2 in each of the Jedi ships. And yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, generic force wielders are a rarity.
Yeah.
So Striker is coming back in.
Yeah.
I think we're going to have some
damage.
Some action finally with the Striker. He's the only one who's not damaged of the Empire.
Yeah, he went for that seismic charge early, which would have been great if you hadn't anticipated it.
Yeah.
But I wonder if, looking at it now, that gas cloud between Vagabond and your swarm, that could be a tempting thing to blow up later. Or the other gas cloud. But then if you focus on trying to use the device, you often end up putting yourself in a bad position for shooting.
Yeah, it can be a strange one because if you go all for your device, you potentially will sacrifice something else.
There's not many ways of launching a device, are there? There's not many device users that can throw their device forwards.
You need the trajectory simulator, don't you?
Now, who can access that?
Anyone with a sensor upgrade.
Sensor upgrades, right? So that's mostly Empire, right?
Mostly Empire. I think a few others can. The thing I have noticed that there are some sensor ships with the sensor slot that don't have the device slot, so then that makes it pointless as well.
Yeah, it's quite a specific.
TIE Bomber and the TIE Punisher would benefit from it. I'm not sure about anything else Empire-wise. Just off the top of my head, though, I'm pretty sure there are others. So
yeah, now this is working out for your ships, isn't it?
Yes, the first V-Wing did a 2 turn, and then Tarkin did a 1 hard, and now it's also boosting.
All right, I was wondering if Tarkin was going to stay safe, but Tarkin's got a higher initiative than Vagabond, hasn't he? So even if Tarkin goes down this round, red Vagabond. Target lock. Yeah, that's it. That's why you've done
both
that.
have now target lock onto Vagabond. Third one's coming in. What's he going to do? So he's doing the 2.
And if Tarkin survives, he's going to be able to pass on target locks, possibly. Now, if that boost fits, that would be lovely. If this one can do exactly the same thing.
Absolutely.
Oh, you're thinking about it.
If they've all target locked onto Vagabond, his chances, I'm afraid, look
I've only got 4 health. You're going for it. You're going for it.
Is it going to happen? Oh, look at that. Miles of space.
Nice.
Absolutely miles of space there.
Yeah, what you've done really well is keeping those in formation right across the board. You've covered almost the whole board, and they're still in a situation where you can do the same maneuvers, same actions with them.
Yeah.
Very nice.
And they've all got target lock. I think Vagabond's quite glad he wore the brown underpants.
He's not going to be very happy.
Not really. And Shark T's yet to move. I don't know where she's going to go.
Mind you, again, in Vagabond's defense, if he's still alive next round, he's got a very nice, cheeky, mid-maneuver bomb drop.
Yeah, if he can survive, a bomb drop now will be fabulous. Will he? Chances are not in his favour, I'm afraid.
How many green dice on one of those?
At the moment, 4, because he's got stealth device.
4, right? So yeah, because V-Wings don't pack a huge punch, do they? What have they got any? You haven't put any.
Their primary is 2.
Mm-hmm.
The Besh config then and a target lock then means you've guaranteed yourself a hit effectively.
That is true. Yeah.
So I feel that is stronger than maybe a 3rd dice. I was actually wondering.
That's interesting.
I had a theory, you see, before this came out. I was saying, right, they're going to have 3 attack. Because I didn't think they were going to have a missile slot or any secondary weapon. I was right about the secondary weapon, but I think, okay, why do they have 2? Because normally, like the Interceptor, you have 3 dice.
Yeah.
But then with the Besh config, that almost acts as an equivalent. Which is why I don't think it has 3 attack.
Yeah, so this is the interesting thing, isn't it? So we talked about the 3B Besh, but your alternative, Alpha 3E-esque, 2 charges. While you perform a primary attack, before rolling attack dice, you may spend 2 charges. If you do, your crit results inflict ion tokens instead of damage.
Yes.
So, have you tried that yet?
I have tried it a couple of times. I did get a brief window with the Ferg during Christmas to do a little bit of testing. And got to be honest, it's not as good, I don't think. I mean,
you're having to guess, I think I'm going to get a crit.
Yes, and you can do things to guarantee yourself a crit. As they suggested in the article, you can take marksmanship and try and line up your bullseye. You could take R7A7, spend the charge and get one. But if you're trying to ionize something, would you would a ship with ion turret be better, or ion missiles, or ion torps?
Yeah. Why wouldn't you want the crit? I suppose if you were shooting something with shields on, you can definitely make a strategy around Besh, which you've done here, haven't you? So
yeah. Right, Rexler is shooting into his closest ship there. I'm not sure if it might just be through the gas cloud. Oh, he missed.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, 2 eyes and a blank, so nothing for Rex. That is unfortunate. He decided to boost, so he didn't get any tokens. He has got Shadow Squadron, I think.
Yeah, not obstructed.
No, I don't think. I think it's multiple closest points. So he's obviously picking the non-obstructed one.
Mm-hmm.
Ed's just thinking, is there anything I can do that might aid me? It's 3 eyes, so spend the focus definitely.
That's what you need.
Okay, so we got 1.
Is that one evade?
And an eye. Reroll for elusive. And that brings us up to
nice.
2. There we go. That's a bit better.
That's
Still 1, but he's got shield, so that's okay. Mm-hmm. And here we go. Here is Turt doing his ability.
Nice. I was just thinking
while stressed.
While stressed. Ouch. Yeah.
While really stressed nice. Is fabulous.
Yeah. It's very unusual to be repositioning in the what's it called? Combat phase in the shooting.
It is actually, yeah. I actually think though this worked in his favour because he can now next turn he can just shoot down straight, which would be awesome.
You can just roll in with a nice straight.
Now let's relieve the stress. Is Vagabond going to come out on top?
Yeah, Vagabond's interesting.
So we got 2 hits and an eye. Spend the Besh to make it a 3rd. Spend the target lock with the Besh config gives us 3.
Ouch.
Oh dear. That is 1 evade and 2 blanks. That's really unfortunate because
that's really unfortunate
because that means he's going to lose the stealth device as well.
He's got 2 more shots coming in.
Yeah, how's he done?
Oh, he's losing elusive. He's using his elusive, I think.
Yeah, so he's got elusive.
They're taking 2 damage.
Unfortunately, no way of getting around that, which means 2 damage. So on to the next one, and that is
ouch.
A hit and a crit.
Very nice.
Thanks to another Besh. That was an eye, and we turned that to a hit. Oh no. That looks blank to me.
Uh-oh.
It is. Oh no.
Ouch. Shouldn't it be 3 evade dice? Am I wrong? Is it just 2 evade dice?
It might be 2 actually, yeah.
Oh, it's 2.
Oh wow.
I thought it was out. Yeah, 2 evade dice and 4 hull.
Oh, really?
That's one of the most fragile ships in the game.
Oh yeah, blimey, that. I always thought it was 3.
I thought it was 3. It's very powerful because I've got 3 attack dice, but
yeah. He is gone. Wow.
That's a surprise because he was the only one not hit by those 6 seismic charges.
Yeah, and
he's the first down.
Gone just like that, blimey.
Yeah, I remember that actually because I had a look last time I was looking at those ships. I tried out. There's another pilot called Countdown.
Yes.
If you are not stressed, suffer a damage and gain a stress token. If you do, cancel all the die results. So, provided you're willing to stress out your pilot all the time, you just make each shot coming at you turn into 1 hit. which I think is a good way, because that is otherwise a very cheap ship with 3 attack dice.
There's only one problem with Countdown.
The stress?
No, he's not very good without Rachel Riley.
You had me looking at my phone for the Rachel Riley crew card.
Wow. That took too long. that took a moment. It's all right. Oh, Richard. That was more amusing though, because you actually bought that for 5 seconds.
I'll have 1 from the top and 3 from the bottom, please, Carol.
Oh yeah, or Carol will order them as well. Oh dear! Now what's going to happen next? I wonder. I mean, the other 2 are looking pretty hurt.
Yeah, there's not much.
Yeah.
So which of yours are damaged? Can they kill Tarkin? Can we work out which V-wing is Tarkin?
Tarkin is the one in front.
Tarkin's right at the front.
Yes.
Okay, so they've got a pretty good chance of killing Tarkin. You're doing that boost in the systems phase.
I am.
Supposed to keep Shark T, because she's got a bit separated, hasn't she?
She has, but I don't know if she actually needs to be anywhere near the V-wings at the moment.
Yeah, she might be doing a hard. Now it'd be good to do a hard turn and get a shot on the defender.
Oh no!
Tarkin's really going for it. He's like, if I'm going down this turn, I'm going down in a blaze of glory.
Oh, do you know what's happened?
Do you know gone for a bump?
Yes. I just remembered why I wanted to do that, because if he's bumped, he's not going to get shot.
Oh yeah.
So he's going to live.
Yeah. If you want to protect a pilot, just shove him right into the down the gun of the enemy.
So he's gone in, he's boosted, he's hopefully blocking Tur, hopefully not going to get shot by Rexler, and he's target locked him, so that means if he survives, more target locks for the other 2.
More target locks.
So that was my plan.
Yeah, I would have been tempted to dial in. I would have been dialing in a slow blue maneuver with Tur. So I would probably have been caught by
not boosting with that one. They're staying there. See, I do have a good day sometimes. I have a good plan. So that's a definite
setting up
bump.
a nasty little.
That's a bump, unfortunately.
I think that's worth it still, because it's still
it is, isn't it? It absolutely is.
You're not on the gas cloud. You are pointing at where Turfin is likely to go.
No.
And Turfinier's got Rexler Wrath to worry about as well.
He has.
Yeah.
So yeah, he is just sliding into Tarkin. There we go. What did I say? He could shoot and reposition. Will that help him at all? He could shoot, barrel roll, and maybe make it range 2 or 3. Maybe. We could
increase the distance with those other ships.
No, it wouldn't. The only way that would help him is if he could shoot, and then because he would shoot, if he barrel rolled rather, and then was able to shoot Tarkin, that would be good.
Yeah, but he can't do it in that order.
Yeah, that's not possible, unfortunately. That would be the only reason I think he'd want to reposition Ed.
Yeah. Shark T's done the Talon roll. I'm not sure if that's the best for keeping.
It wasn't a good move, but I was accounting for 2 things. So the V-wings. Oh, that's a strain.
Ouch.
Yeah, not really needed, is it? But the V-wings were going around that way. Shark T was hoping that Rexler was going to come straight down.
Yeah.
That's what I was accounting for there. Yeah. So, something like the 4K. And if he had done that, he'd be right in Shark
4K. 4K would have been nice because it would have gained the evade automatically.
Yeah, I didn't think he was going to turn in and face the V-Wings. I was thinking he was going to 4K and then have their rear.
He's keen to just take out a V-Wing, isn't he, at this point?
Yeah. And one Shadow Squadron 1 has lost a shield. The other one is still on full health. But he's got range 1, so it's very possible, with the right dice, that could happen. Unfortunately, that Tarkin is out. Well, unfortunately for Ed, fortunately for me.
If he's lucky, he could initiative kill one of your V-Wings with both ships. Get it out before
exactly what he's trying to do, isn't it?
Mm.
So let's see if that happens.
Yeah, that's the other interesting thing about the TIE Defender. It's got that one hard. So it's not only doing these really maneuverable long things. It can also get right in the way. Right, that's...
So spending focus.
2 evades on not a bad roll, all things considered.
Yeah. Stripping the focus away, which is also quite a good idea. I think it's fair, though, the TIE Defender can do it's red to do a hard one. That kind of makes sense. They can do all these great things, but it's just a little bit weaker doing a hard one. Yeah,
it doesn't like hard turns, does it?
It likes everything but hard one, really. I believe.
It doesn't like hard 2.
Hard 2 is also red?
Hard 2 is red, so the only non-red hard turn is the 3, which is unusual. I mean, it makes sense. That's because it needed to have something to nerf it after that white K turn.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But he hasn't initiative killed a V-Wing, so the V-Wings are now going to fire at him. So now, if we're lucky, that leaves one V-Wing to potentially take out Tur and one to potentially take out Rexler. So it could be all over.
Could be if you roll.
Oh, that's a crit. High. I don't know if that's going to go through.
Have you got a target lock on that one?
That's eyes. And also, he should have rolled 1 less. So, no, it doesn't. That's Rexler out.
Rexler out. Ouch.
Oh, that's big points there.
That's 94. That's what happens when you put an upgrade in every slot on the best TIE Defender.
I'm afraid so.
You get 94 points on it.
It doesn't always work out when this happens.
No. We didn't see the heavy laser cannon or the ion missiles.
I'm afraid not.
Or the fire control system. I don't think we saw Duke.
Almost did, but it just wasn't needed.
Yeah.
Oh dear. So that's 2 eyes on the final V-Wing. So Tur is still alive. But that is the last shot. And that means the final score is 170 to 43.
Yeah, that was a good game.
That was very good.
Yeah, brilliant formation flying from your V-Wings. That's what swung it, really, wasn't it?
Thank you.
So you got a bump on the TIE Defender, which caused it some issues, immediately followed by a big bomb drop on the Defender with some more issues.
I think that bomb drop was the key point.
Yeah.
I literally wiped out 50% of Ed's hit points in that bomb drop.
Yeah.
Which was very powerful. So, yeah.
Well, that's the bomb drop to beat next time.
All 6. Yeah, all 6. Somehow if I can get all 12, I've got to get all 12 on there at one point. And I've got to get all 6 to suffer damage. Okay, that's my 2 new goals with V-Wing.
That's your New Year's resolution.
Yes. Thank you everyone for joining us. That is the end of today's video. Thank you, Richard, for coming and watching with me. I had a great time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Happy New Year.
Oh yes, Happy New Year, everybody. If I don't see you before then,
don't forget to like and subscribe, click the bell,
and have a great day.